right, let's bring in Geoff Skelley, who's the chief election analyst with Decision Desk HQ. Jeff, tell me what you're seeing in terms of numbers. First, we've all been discussing the race that you just called in New York City. This has been a huge number of votes in this race for New York City mayor. Did we break the 2 million mark, and if so, by how much? And what does that mean in terms of with turnout of this kind?
Well, it is too early to know what the final count will be, but our projections have it going north of 2 million. And to put that into context, the largest raw turnout we'd seen in recent years, and when I say recent, I'm being generous with that term, is 1989 and 1993. There were about 1.8 million votes cast in the David Dinkins, Rudy Giuliani matchups of those two cycles. And since then, we have not seen turnout in a general election for New York mayor be remotely that close in terms of that raw vote number. So the fact that we are probably going to surpass 2 million votes, I think speaks to the energy and attention that this race has garnered, obviously the intensity of passion for and against the candidates. That all comes together to create a lot of democracy, if you will.
Yeah. And what about youth vote? We'd heard about some huge numbers in young voters in New York City. Is that what you're seeing?
Well, we don't have the perfect breakdown by age, but based on the early vote numbers, there was definitely it was running close to 50-50 in terms of sort of over 45, under 45 numbers, which, to understand in an off-year election, where you would expect voters who are just less active, less engaged to not show up, and those voters tend to be on the younger side on average. The fact that you were running that close in terms of the age ranges, I think, did speak to Mamdani's appeal, and the fact that he did generate a lot of turnout and emotion among a lot of young voters.
And just super quick before we say goodbye, in New Jersey, we are seeing Mikey Sherrill really perform well in the same parts of that state that had come out for Trump just last year.
Yeah, I think there are going to be a lot of big questions about who exactly turned out. Are you talking about sort of two different electorates? A presidential electorate where you have a lot of lower propensity voters who turned out for Trump, but then in this election did not show up. Or, in some cases, there are going to be voters who voted for Sherrill who may have voted for Trump because they're just dissatisfied with the status quo. And they look at Trump as president and turn to Sherrill as a result.
Yeah, that is the big question. Is it a function of somebody changing their mind about the direction of the country and who they want representing them versus a function of just sitting at home because it's not a presidential election? All right, Geoff Skelley, great to talk to you. I know you got to get back to all the data crunching at Decision Desk HQ, calling all the races early tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.